Yes, I'll be there shortly. A private investigator was hired to interrogate witnesses at the Bridgewater attempted robbery. 3 men by the name of Earl Grace, Alfred Cox, and Benjamin Bowles testified. All witnesses at this crime scene testified that the bandits had dark features and that they were foreigners. That same day, a $1,000 reward was filed for the bandits' capture. People continued to talk about this affair for several days and was said to be the end of it. However, this small incident led to one of the most famous American trials of the 20th century.
Okay, madam. Add the factory payroll.
Thank you.
Parmenter? You and Bardelli can pick up the money now.
Bardelli died within a few minutes, and Parmenter lived only until the next day.
Pinkerton agents and the state and local police immediately began investigation on the murders. On April 17th, 2 doctors and 23 other witnesses testified. Descriptions of the bandits varied somewhat, but generally agreed that the gunmen were Italian. Few thought they could identify these gunmen again.
Hello? Hello, yes, this is the Boston Immigration Office. I was just calling about our Ferruggio Coachi, an Italian anarchist who lived in Bridgewater. Had just been arrested for deportation. Can you please check this guy out for me?
Yes, of course.
The chief sent his assistant on the assignment, who found out Coachi was eager to be deported. He then found out Coachi had been living with another anarchist, Mike Boda. In Boda's garage was a Buick that was reported stolen on November 22nd. Once the chief showed interest in Boda, he quickly disappeared. However, his car was left for repair at Simon Johnson's garage. Stewart asked Johnson to notify the police when Boda called for his car.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Boda and his friends have just arrived to pick up his automobile.
Boda and a friend had arrived by motorcycle and joined by 2 other men who were walking. The 4 came for the car. Simon Johnson advised them not to take it because there was no 1920 license plate on it. The 4 men left. Boda and his friend Riccardo Orciani had driven away on the motorcycle and the other 2 had taken a streetcar. The 2 men were arrested at 10 o'clock and taken to the Brockton police station. The men were Niccolo Falco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti. They had no police records, but when they were arrested, they were both armed with fully loaded guns and extra cartridges.
The day after the arrest, District Attorney Frederick G. Casman questioned the 2 men. Both men claimed that they did not know anything about Boda or Orciani. Chief Stewart concluded that both were involved in the Bridgewater and South Braintree holdups. On May 12, 1920, Vanzetti was charged for attempted murder and robbery at Bridgewater. On June 11, 1920, Vanzetti was indicted for assault and intent to rob. Later, they were both indicted for the South Braintree murders on June 9, 1920.
Commonwealth versus Nicola Sacco and Vanzetti. Court is now in session.
Prosecution calls for its first witness, James F. Bostock.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. What is your name? James F. Bostock. And what is it that you do?
Machine business.
Were you anywhere near South Braintree on April 15th? Yes. Could you tell us what you saw and did on that day?
I was walking downhill toward the factory when I saw 2 men standing next to each other near the iron fence. On the floor was a Bardelli fermenter.
What are the 2 men doing after the shooting?
One put something on his jacket, and maybe to reload the gun. Then it seemed as if they were waiting for a car to pick them up. Oh! Then I picked up the bullet shells that were there.
And what did you do with the bullet shells?
I gave them to the police when they were questioning me. So how long have you been at Bardelli? 15 years. And you say you were unable to identify the shooters? Yes. Then why did you tell the police they were Italians? They look like Italians to me. I don't know. That is all, Mr. Bostock. You may leave.
Prosecution calls for Mary E. Splain.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. What is your name?
Mary E. Splain.
Miss Blaine, what is your occupation?
I'm a bookkeeper at Slater and Morrell at South Braintree.
And what floor do you work on?
The second floor.
Does it have any windows?
Yes. 3 south windows facing the Pearl Street and the other 3 east facing the road.
Did you witness or hear anything strange on April 15?
Yes, I heard some shots, about 7 or 8 of them.
Then what did you do?
I ran to the windows on the south side.
Do you wear glasses, Miss Blaine?
No, my vision is fine.
Could you tell us if one or any of these men here were seen at the crime scene on April 15?
Yes, but I could only recall one of them. I think he was leaning out of the car shooting.
No further questions, Your Honor.
So, Miss Blaine, you stated earlier that you identified that my client, Mr. Sacco, was the one you saw leaning out the car.
Yes.
You said you saw him from the second-story building on the south window facing Pearl Street, correct?
Yes, and I think the car was moving around 80 miles per hour.
Are you positive that the man you picked out in the pictures at the police station resembles the man that was leaning out of the car?
I don't think my position afforded me the right to say that he's the man.
We will stop here today and court will adjourn tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Asking yesterday, you stated that you were now unsure if Sacco was the one shooting out of the car, correct?
I think I did.
So you are now stating that you are no longer sure that Sacco was leaning out of the car shooting?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Prosecution calls Louis Pelser.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
What is your name?
Louis Pelser.
Where do you work at?
I'm a shoe cutter at the Rice and Hutchins Shoe Factory, the K department.
Did you witness anything strange on April 15?
I saw this fellow shoot. I think you call him Sacco, at a man 4 times.
Did you see if they had a getaway car?
Yes, the license plate was 49783.
Are you positive?
Yes.
That is all, Your Honor.
You work on the second-story window, correct?
Yes.
Those windows were too hard to be seen unless you open it, correct?
Yes.
So how did you see the shooting?
Well, there was another window. 3 or 4 inches were open or something. But I was only able to see the shooter in the body.
It shows that you told the police you were afraid and hid under a bench.
Yes.
Then why didn't you tell the jury that when Mr. Katzman were questioning you?
I don't know.
So you didn't see the robbery, but instead you ran away.
Yes.
That is all, Mr. Powell.